meditation. Oh, Rastaman music to keep it bringing you some meditation. Rastaman music to keep it bringing you some meditation. Oh.
I'm back again. This is Bianca at the Island Spot at the Toys for Tots. This is the 3rd annual Toys for Tots, and I'm here with 2 great Marines. I'm with Staff Sergeant Julian and Staff Sergeant Thomas. I got that right, didn't I? Yes. Okay, I've been practicing it for the last 2 minutes, so I finally got it. Hi, guys.
How you doing? How you doing? Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much. Well, they've been doing this for a while, so I'm going to let them run through. How did you get involved with this? Do you volunteer, or do they send you out? I know it's been a tradition since 1947
Yes.
for the Marine Corps Reserves. How do you do it? How do you get involved?
Well, I've gotten involved since I've been stationed here in Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas, over in the JRB. I've heard about it plenty of times, but since being on active duty in different stations, I didn't have the time to do it. But since I moved here, I had the time, the opportunity, so I decided to get my feet wet.
Cool. What about you?
This is my first year doing it, and I've gotten familiarized with the program. And prior to, I only knew a little bit about it. Now that I'm involved, I've learned that it has a higher reach than I thought.
Okay, so how, and any one of you can answer this first, how did you get involved in the Marines? Was it a calling? Was it a family? Was it a generational thing? Did you just get thrown into it? Or how did you all get involved? Anyone want to go first? Okay.
I got dared into it, and they said I wouldn't do it. Went and see the recruiter. Came back home a couple hours later saying, hey, guess what? I ship in a few months.
Well, I don't want to glorify the whole details, but it was just a chance to I guess go out there and make something better, better opportunity. Sometimes we all in a situation to where we don't think we have an end to it, and the Marine Corps was my way out.
Okay, so I mean, when you're in the service, what's your greatest, when you wake up in the morning, what is it? I know you're serving your country, and that's a really high calling for anybody to do, and you have to give of yourself completely. What is the one thing you want to see every day you wake up in the morning in regards to your country? Like when you wake up there and you're serving the country, and whether it's here or abroad.
I think I don't mean to be cheesy, but I think that every time I go on base and I see the red, white, and blue, I still get little chills about it. So that I think that's like the first thing I see, and it motivates me to keep on going.
And what motivates you to stay in the Marines?
To me, I'm attracted to the factor of the brotherhood that we have. You rarely ever see a Marine by himself, or 2, a Marine in need that's not being helped by another Marine. There's always somebody there to spot you, in every aspect. I mean, and there's also the leadership that's there to give you guidance, to help you progress in your life, not just in the Marine Corps career, but a lot of life advice and everything that we get from, especially when you first start. There's a lot of advice thrown your way, because a lot of those guys have been around the world, they've experienced everything, and they know what you're going to get yourself into, whether it's good or bad.
So out of all, the Army and everything, I know there's always that brotherly rivalry between the 2 of y'all. Who do you think goes through the tougher, the tougher training, the tougher boot camp? Who's the tougher at the end of the day between you and the Army? Let's clear this up once and for all, because your Army friends believe it's them, and you on the other hand say it's you, and the Navy has a different entire outlook. So who do you think is the toughest out of the 3? I don't think they'll hold it against you, but
I'll let him answer.
I think it's hands down Marines. We definitely focus on everything, not just from your different non-combat jobs, but the warrior ethos, the warrior concept, and it doesn't matter what your job is. Every Marine is ready to be a warrior at any given time, and you learn that from the get-go, from boot camp. From day one, they instill that unity factor into you.
I would agree with Staff Sergeant Julian that I've had families that have been in different services before. Matter of fact, my best friend Highlands, he's in the Army as well, and we constantly battle about it. But I do think hands down that the Marine Corps is the hardest one, because out of all the 3 months, we're constantly training for those 3 months. There's no break, there's no holidays. It's constantly always go, always pound out, and it's difficult mentally and physically.
Okay, so I was asking you before we all started all this about your dress blues, and how long does it take to get all this together? Is it all? I mean, you always look perfect. No lint, no nothing. You all always perfect. How long does it take to get all this together? Like,
We constantly, uniforms is one of the main things for Marines, because we take pride in our appearance and everything, and so when we are out, especially during the Toys for Tots campaign, our uniforms are always ready,
yeah.
and we maintain a constant state of readiness, because we always know that we're gonna have to cover events. So for us, we maintain ready at all times.
Like I said, once again, I would have to agree with Staff Sergeant Julian at a moment's notice that we would have to get ready, whether if it's dressing in this uniform, or changing into our camis, or changing into our green alphas. We're always ready. So in a moment's notice, I say we get ready within 3 minutes.
And I've gone to a couple of Toys for Tots, and it seems like kids are not really intimidated by your dress blues. They actually love it, and they actually run up to you guys, and they feel like a sense of closeness to y'all, and I guess it works. It does something. So explain to me a little bit, within reason, about all your, what do you call them? The emblems and all your...
Okay. Right now, this uniform that we have on currently in this configuration is called Dress Blue Bravos. Right now, as you can see right here, these are what we call ribbon stacks. Each ribbon indicates a certain either accomplishment, mission, or something that we've done within the Marine Corps. Within the ribbons, we have stars, or what's also called devices. These devices indicate that, multiple engagements, multiple actions, and so forth. Below that, this little shiny things right here, these are called marksman badges. This one right here with the long one, this is the one that's closest to my heart right now. It's called a rifle badge, and the one furthest away from me right now is a pistol badge. Not all Marines have this this stack of configuration, but in all, we all basically have the same standards and form.
Okay. What about you? Anything else you want to add in addition to what the patches represent?
Okay, well, in our shoulders and on the arms, it's our rank is on the top, and for both of us, we are staff sergeants. And then lower on the arm is our service, what we call hashtags, is our service marks, and you get one every 4 years of service. Okay. I'm going in my 12th year coming in January, so I still don't have my third one, but he's been in over 12, so you see that I have 2, he has 3, and that basically is from simple eyesight, it's just a connotation of how much time somebody's done, a good rough estimate of it.
So both of you have been over a decade in the Marines. How long you still, I guess, another decade or 2 or 3 plan to retire in the Marines?
The way I always tell people is that I try to stay active and stay in the service as long as my body will maintain. So right now I've done 15. My next goal is to try to push for that 20. If I could go another 5 or another 10 after that, only time will tell.
Okay. And for all the young people who would like to join the Marines, or still maybe have a push and pull and are not unsure, can you give them a little bit, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 pros for joining the Marines, or for thinking about it?
For me, one pro is basically a self-discipline. When you're out there and there's nobody else to basically guide you, or to basically make you do what you do, that it instills that self-discipline to make sure that you do that.
Another thing I would say is mental toughness. You get, we instill that in our Marines from an early age on, because we have to be able to withstand any adversity that we face, anything that any negative engagements that we come in place with. So bearing is an important thing to Marines, and one of the popular phrases, break bearing, don't break bearing, because that means that you broke your character, your Marine persona.
Yes.
So we try to maintain a not a tough persona per se, but a professional demeanor at all times.
Okay, so of course I'm going to ask this. This is the island spot. I'm not sure if this is the first time you've been here. Have you ever served away from the country, either in the Caribbean or in an African country, or have you mingled a lot with the Afro-Caribbean community at all, or is today your first time?
Originally I'm from Brooklyn, New York.
Okay.
So, I'm sorry?
Pretty diverse.
Yes, it is, definitely. So being in the Caribbean community is only natural for me.
What about you?
I was born in Cuba, and I came to the States when I was 12, so I grew up in the Caribbean, or my early years in the Caribbean, and in Cuba it's a wide variety of, a good mixture, and everybody's like a brotherhood, so I definitely know what the island life is like.
Well, thank you very much, and I would like to thank my both staff sergeants who have schooled me and told us everything about the Marines, and we thank you all for hanging out with us at the Island Spot. We'll talk to you later. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. I'm here with Mike Kiss. And how are you today? I'm here at the Island Spot, by the way, for the 3rd annual Toys for Tots. And Mike, tell us how you started this out. Toys for Tots has been around for decades, but how did you first get involved with Toys for Tots?
Toys for Tots, I started 3 years ago. The first one was actually in New York City. My last year living in New York City, I started the first one. It came about with, I know a lot of people with kids that have disabilities, or kids that don't have good Christmas, and we also do a lot of giving back to the community, Salvation Army, etc. So I just decided one year, I was like, okay, it's Christmas time, everybody's having fun, what can we do, something different? So we sat down and we decided, okay, me and my team, all right, we're gonna try Toys for Tots. We did it the first year in New York. It was pretty good. We had a lot of local New York artists that came through and support and everything. Then I moved to Texas, and last year I did it at Jamaica Gates. Last year is actually the first year I got the U.S. Marines involved, and I was thankful that I got Caribbean Marines also. So after last year, it was a big hit. This year I decided to do it again. This year I actually reached out to a lot of the Afro-Caribbean promoters, and they all responded well. They all participated, and here we are tonight.
Okay, and I know you're one of the biggest names in the Caribbean entertainment circle. True, I mean, everybody knows who Mike Kiss is, and you span across not only Caribbean but African American, whatever it is. How have you been able to manage, not just to stick with just Caribbean? How have you been able to encompass everybody?
That I wouldn't take full credit for that. That has to do a lot with the people that I associate myself with, the promoters that I meet, and pretty much everybody that I know. I go out and I play at gigs, I just do my thing, and there's a lot of people that actually help spread my name and push me out into different venues. I specialize in the Afro-Caribbean scene right now, but we also have been touching different areas with urban top 40 clubs, and we pretty much been going crazy, I can say now, recently.
Okay, so of course 2014 you did a lot of great things, and if you don't know him, just look up Mike Kiss on Facebook, and we'll post up all his other information and all his sites so you can get everything. Out of all your other projects, I know you've got, is it One Sound?
One Love Sound.
One Love Sound. Tell us a little bit about One Love Sound.
One Love Sound is I inherited it. It was from my dad. My dad's been a DJ for a few decades now, so that's where I got the love and the feel for music. I've always been around it. So I inherited now. You know, my dad's kind of like phasing out. He's getting kind of old, so you know, we're continuing the legacy. So the One Love sound, that's where it was all in New York City. They've done a lot of great things in New York City too. So we're just spreading it now.
Okay, so do you find that New York is very fast-paced and Dallas is a bit laid back? Are you trying to help the Dallas people catch up with the fast pace, or did you just reinvent yourself and say, okay, I'm in Dallas, I'm going to do it the southern way? How were you able to tone it down, I may say, because New York is very fast-paced?
Very different. I wouldn't say that I'm bringing New York to Dallas or bringing Dallas to New York City, like blending it at all. I like the slow-paced, even though recently has not been slow-paced at all for us. It's been on the go. But the thing is, when we DJ over here, we try to bring a little bit of everything because it gives people a different style, a different vibe, and it also brings back memories to some people. Because a lot of people down here, believe it or not, they're from the East Coast.
Oh. So give us a highlight of what we're going to see in 2015. I know there's a lot of things going on in 2015. I know about Reggae Fest. I know you're pretty much involved in that. Could you give us a hint on who would be coming in 2015, or just give us basically what you have in store, a little bit of a hint of what's in store in 2015.
2015, I'll give you the start of it. To bring in 2015, we're doing a huge Caribbean New Year's party at Taste of the Islands in Plano. At the end of 2015, I'm not going to say much, but I'll let you know that Soca Passion from Houston is coming to Dallas. And of course, we have the regular stuff that we did this year, but just bigger and better. Carnival, Dallas Carnival, Samsara Juve, my birthday party, and definitely Toys for Tots next year, believe it or not. It has already started planning. So there's a lot coming up.
So I just got to ask one last question. I was in the Bahamas at one point, and I went to the Junkanoo Festival. Are you ever going to have a parade and shut down either Lower Greenville or downtown Dallas and have a true Caribbean parade? Because I would love to see a true Caribbean parade. Would you ever do that? Or is it something that you would, with all the glitz and glam?
Yes, believe it or not, we have had something similar to that. Dallas Carnival in Joe Pool Lake, we did have a parade with masqueraders and band masses that literally we drove a truck with music on it and we walked all around Joe Pool Lake. But as a part of bringing it to the public, that's something definitely I would love to do, and eventually I see ourselves getting into it because the Caribbean community right now is spreading and it's just getting bigger and bigger and people are getting more and more involved.
Okay, and let us know where's the best place to get the best Caribbean food, jerk chicken and all the great food.
The place we're sitting in front of right now, Island Spot.
Okay, everybody, Island Spot. You heard it from My Kiss. And if anybody wasn't able to donate anything today for Toys for Tots, I know you do it all through the year. I don't think you want it just to be today. Where else can they drop off their gifts or donations to?
We'll probably end up leaving a box here at Island Spot, so you could definitely come through to Island Spot. If not, you could just find me somewhere, and I'll still be collecting toys. I'll still be donating. I'll still keep in touch with the Marines.
Okay, well, thank you very much. This is My Kiss, and we'll talk to you later. We're still here, and we're going to move on inside, and this is at the Island Spot. This is Bianca. I'll see you in a little bit. Hello, I'm here back at the Island Spot again. The party is still going on inside, but I managed to pull one special person outside, Miss Nadine, who I've known for a very long time. She's an organizer of a lot of events in the Caribbean. She's a very vocal person, as well as an instrumental person in a lot of events that happen in the Caribbean community. Caribbean community events and Nadine are synonymous. I know that for a fact. How are you, Miss Nadine?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Now, Miss Nadine is here to tell me about something that's happening in 2015. I'm always excited. I'm ready to say bye-bye to 2014. So I'm very excited about what's going to happen in 2015. And Miss Nadine has got the best surprise in the world for 2015. Tell us about it, Miss Nadine.
It's called Soca Passion, and it's coming to Dallas, January 31st, 2015. and it represents all the islands, and it's carnival. You just come party and have a good time.
Okay, so when you talk soca passion, when we think soca, we're talking like I was talking to Mike earlier. We're talking about like Jankanu Festival, kind of, with the headgear, the headdress, the carnival, the makeup, and yes, the paint and everything, and of course, not to mention the soca dance battles. Are you going to have that at all?
Yes, we are. Everything.
Okay, and where is it? Is this a one-day event, or is it like an entire weekend? Is what we would like to know.
Soca Passion is going to be one day a month, and Carnival is going to be a weekend. It's going to be from like a Friday to Sunday, and that happened in September this year, so hopefully it's going to be the same thing.
Okay, so I know you mentioned earlier that you did it in Grand Prairie last year. Why did you this year? Okay, you decided to do another one in Dallas.
Most of the island events are at Joe Pool Lake, and that's where this one was. Juve with the body paint, the baby powder, and the oil and all that. That was at a ranch held in Dallas.
Okay, so if all you know about soca and raga and reggae and dance hall, you know that this is one of the things that you've got to experience. I really can't tell you, or she can't tell you. You actually have to be there to experience it for yourself. Tell us a little bit about the food. Are you going to be serving food? Are you going to have vendors, or what's going to happen on that day?
They have vendors that sell stuff like bracelets and jewelry, your flags, and Bob Marley art of, stuff like that. Food, they have Caribbean food, which is like the Jamaican jerk chicken and rice and peas, and then you have the Trinidad and Guyanese, you have the curry chicken and rice and roti and all that good stuff.
Okay, so I'm going to ask, because that's one, a lot of Africans and Afro-Caribbean people always go to events because of who's performing. Right. Do you have any artists that you can kind of tell us about, or is that like a hidden secret? Do you really have to be there? Like, do you have any names? Do you have any names you can throw out there for us that we're going to see?
No, you have to be there. It's a surprise.
Oh, come on, you could tell us just one name.
No, it's a surprise.
Okay, well, all you ladies, I know ladies go crazy for anybody who sings reggae, raga, and soca. We die for it. And any competitions that you have, I know you may have, I don't know if you have best dressed or best reggae dancer or dance hall artist, or do you have any competitions? And
they have, like for Carnival, there's the trucks and your different costumes, your different bands. Yes. Everybody's gonna go, some people go behind certain trucks. Okay. And you just wear your costumes and you have a good time and you dance and you follow the truck, you dance to the music, and you represent your flag and your country.
Okay, so we all need to come with our flags. Is that what we need to do? Okay, so all y'all need to go online or wherever, or your store. We know all the stores where we get all our flags and artifacts. You need to come and wave them. Soca, you gotta like wave. By the way, I wanted to ask, what's behind the waving the flag? When you're dancing soca, is there something behind
where you're from? You represent where you're from.
Okay, so I know you had like the banner. I really would like to see the banner for the Soca Passion. So guys, here it goes. January the 31st, 2015, the Soca Passion is coming to Dallas. And it's coming from all the way from Houston. If any of you, I lived in Houston, so I know Club Rhythms used to blow it out of the park. So if any of you know what Club Rhythms used to be like, this is it, and it's coming to Dallas. Do we have any venues yet?
Caribbean Grill.
Okay, Caribbean Grill, you all know where it's at. Caribbean Grill is where the party is going to be once a month. And anything else you'd like to tell us, Nadine, about the entire Soca Passion event, or basically the Caribbean experience?
Just come out and support and have fun.
Okay, how do we get best prepared? And what's the best thing that we need to order? What's the drink that you need to order? What's the food you need to order? for anybody who doesn't know anything Caribbean, if I didn't know anything about Caribbean, what should I order?
Jerk chicken and rice and peas and curry chicken and rice.
And what's the drink of choice? What's your drink of choice that you would tell someone who would like to experience Caribbean?
A rum punch or a Heineken.
No, Heineken is universal. That's not Caribbean.
Rum and Red Bull with Ray and nephew.
Okay, well, that's Miss Nadine. And of course, at the end of this segment, we're going to put up the information for Soca Passion. And we'll be seeing a lot more of her in 2015. Thank you all. Hang out with us. Let's take the party back inside. Hello everybody, we're back and I'm here with AK from DFW Diversity, and I'm going to let her tell us a little bit about it. It's a culmination of a lot of groups and a lot of things, but I'm going to let her explain to us what DFW Diversity is. Hi AK.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Good. So DFW Diversity is a social meetup group, and what we do is basically embrace and create diversity in the DFW area. So any type of events that embrace any type of culture, maybe a festival, things of that nature, we participate in. So we have about 6 to 8 meetups per month, and they can range anything from, again, cultural events to happy hours to even checking out maybe foreign films. I'm a foodie myself, so even trying different kinds of food.
So when you have all these meetups, do you meet up to talk about things? Is it just basically a social hangout where you exchange different ideas or just talk about anything in general? I'm just trying to figure out whether it's towards do you have certain goals that you meet every meetup, or is it just social?
Yeah, I would say it's socially based. Sometimes topics do come up and we discuss what's going on in the world, in the U.S. But sometimes, people just want to learn about other people's cultures and their traditions, and that always seems to be a good topic for discussion.
Okay, so when you first started, what are the challenges that you had, trying to tell people to, come together, because you're getting people from all sorts of walks of life. How were you able to merge all these people together in one place and be able to exchange ideas? I'm pretty sure did you start with one person, 5 people, and now ended up with, how did you start?
Yes, so I actually had moved back up to the DFW area from Houston, and I was having a hard time making friends because some of the things that I wanted to try were a little bit more diverse, and some of my friends back home weren't really open to that.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna start this meetup group and in hopes that I can make a few new friends. And we actually are celebrating 2 years next month.
Wow.
And we're just under 700 members.
Wow.
So the one thing that I have discovered is there's definitely unity in diversity, and I'm just proud to be the driver of that.
Wow, cool. So how do you actually choose a place to go to? Do you have like a map, or do you have the globe and you go, the old school way we used to go with thumbtacks and say, I'm going to visit this place. Do you figure out, or do you go by continent in a year? How do you map out what you're doing in a year?
Right. I try to schedule my events, per quarter. Okay. So again, it averages out to 6 to 8 meetups per month. But quite honestly, I've built a pretty good rapport. So the members, if they see something that they want to do, they'll connect with me and just say, hey, let's go try this. Okay. So, and again, our group is based on diversity, so I never try to have 4 happy hours in 1 month. I try to switch it up and keep it creative.
Okay, so if a lay person wanted to join your group, what steps would they take? Give them a bit of information. Of course, we're going to put up the rest of our information at the end of this, but tell us a little bit of how someone can get involved and what it takes, if there are any dues, if any, or if you travel. Do you travel at all?
We do like out, yeah. Mostly Texas. Yes.
Okay.
So yes, you can actually follow us on Instagram at DFW Diversity, and then you can also check us out on our website, which is meetup.com/DFW Diversity. We also have a group that people can join on Facebook, and that's just DFW Diversity.
Okay.
So.
Well, thank you very much, AK, and we're going to put up her information at the end of the segment. And that's a great thing. I've never really heard about it, and I'm glad. And I think I'm going to come to one, two, or three of the happy hours because I like to try different things. And sometimes you sit down and say, I'm not going to go to that place by myself, you know.
Yeah.
You're kind of afraid to try something, but when you have someone who's had a similar experience, and I think you do a great job. Well, thank you very much, and keep with us. We're still here at the Island. Yeah, you're supposed to, like, it's still running.
He's not here. Everybody went back inside.
Aww. You're supposed to come and propose to her.
Wait for Avi and Ursa to do it back inside. Boom, boom. Something wrong with boom, boom right now.